Look. Look again. What do you see? Do we really see what is in front of our eyes? A significant number of children and young people are affected by child sexual exploitation.
Child sex offences, including sexual assault, sexual exploitation and rape, are recorded on average every 10 minutes in the UK. In 2018, the number of online referrals has increased by 700%. In Lancashire, 91 of the victims were 4 years old. Are we too scared to face the truth that's out there? What do we do about it? The definition of child sexual exploitation is when an individual or group takes advantage of an imbalance of power to coerce, manipulate, or deceive a child or young person under the age of 18 into sexual activity. In exchange for something the victim needs or wants, for the financial advantage or increased status of the perpetrator or facilitator. The victim may have been sexually exploited, even if the sexual activity appears consensual. Child exploitation does not always involve physical contact. It can occur through the use of technology. Keywords from the definition of CSE includes coerce, persuade an unwilling person to do something by using force or threats. Manipulate, handle or control in skillful manner. Deceive, cause someone to believe something that is not true. Perpetrator, person who carries out a harmful, illegal or immoral act. In 2017, of the 53,000 cases of child abuse identified by Barnardo's support workers, 92% involved social media. Child sexual exploitation can affect any child, regardless of their background, culture, gender, age, or ethnicity. In the eyes of the law, anyone under the age of 18 is a child. In the UK, the legal age for sexual intercourse is 16. If a child is being sexually exploited, by law they cannot give consent. A person consents if he or she agrees by choice and has the freedom and capacity to make that choice. Who is grooming? People who commit sexual offences against children typically have a close relationship with those they abuse. They use grooming to create a trust that is later used to keep the child in the sexual relationship. There are 6 stages in grooming, where the perpetrator targets the child, gains the child's trust, fulfills the child's needs, isolates the child, sexualizes the relationship, and maintains control.
Agencies, organisations and members of the public all need to increase their awareness of the vulnerabilities and exploitations of children, to ensure effective safeguarding strategies and a more conscious and moral stance to protect them from sexual exploitation and abuse. What do you see? Look. Look again.
I see how vulnerable children can be, whatever their age, gender, nationality, or even their social settings.
I see people who don't want to acknowledge that CSE exists. I see how important it is to teach children about healthy relationships so that they can recognise the warning signs.
I see that different reasons make children vulnerable.
I see the need to be more aware of your surroundings as it could happen to anyone.
I see someone trapped and suffering in silence.
I see the poor support provided and the little action taken when I ask for help.
I see the attitude towards grooming has changed over the last 10 years.
Listen. Are we really listening to the voices of children and young people? Do we truly listen and understand what's being said? Do we notice when there is silence? Why do I ask? I am concerned about the rising number of sexual abuse cases amongst children and young people.
The abuse can be a one-off occurrence or a series of incidents over time and range from opportunistic to complex abuse. Child sexual exploitation can happen to any child or young person, whatever their background, age, sexuality, gender, or race. Links to gangs, lacking friends, being in care, low self-esteem or self-confidence, history of abuse, recent bereavement or homelessness can make a child or young person more vulnerable to CSE. The perpetrator can fill a gap or need from the child or young person and cleverly builds a relationship. Grooming is when someone builds an emotional connection with a child or young person to gain their trust for the purpose of sexual abuse or exploitation. Social media is a significant area of concern. Perpetrators can access children and young people, but it's important to remember there are different models of grooming. On the street, party model, boyfriend-girlfriend relationships, friends, gangs, organised crime. Child sexual exploitation is an integral part of the estimated 2,000 cases of county lines drug dealing across the UK. Understanding social media, how to stay safe, where to report and what to do if grooming or abuse occurs is paramount for children and young people in today's digital world. The National Crime Agency estimates that up to 80,000 people in the UK pose a sexual threat to children online. The Internet Watch Foundation exists to eliminate online child sexual abuse.
So are we listening? Are we talking about the issues of child sexual exploitation and child criminal exploitation? Are we hearing what needs to happen to make a difference? Or are we deaf to the language of abuse?
No Whispers is an innovative project led by Karen Livesey from CAT, Child Sexual Exploitation Awareness Training. The idea is to train volunteers from different community groups to become champions in child sexual exploitation and social media. The project was delivered on Monday evenings for 6 weeks at Preston Town Hall. It was open to adults 18+, currently volunteering with a suitable reference and DBS cleared. After a tremendous response, a group of 12 people participated and gave 100% attendance. We need to understand the vulnerabilities of children and young people and the connections between child sexual exploitation, human trafficking, gangs, and child criminal exploitation. How can we help children and young people in this ever-changing world? Where the internet and social media can be dangerous and the circumstances for crime, sexual violence and abuse are rife. Through increased awareness of the vulnerabilities of children and young people, and in understanding the process of child sexual and criminal exploitation, gangs and human trafficking, we can begin to open our eyes and start to make a difference. Lancashire County Council online safety training advises people to recognise, record, report. The NSPCC has a 24-hour support line for advice and inquiries. Barnardos support children and young people who have been abused and help them feel safe again. Gov.uk allows anonymous reporting of suspected child abuse. The police have specialist teams for child sexual exploitation and child criminal exploitation. The National Crime Agency has a referral mechanism that reports human trafficking. The relationships and sex education in schools will give solid grounding in sexual health, relationships, social media and resilience, the rights of the children we all need to advocate. You can help. Recognising the signs of CSE and CCE, being an advocate for children's rights and safety, being someone children and young people can trust and turn to for help, advice and referral, understanding the impact of social media and how to equip children and young people to be safe, secure, confident and able to challenge the multitude of internet interface, to know where to go for help and advice.
I would recommend this course to other people. It was very beneficial for people who like volunteers, especially to get the knowledge and to be able to actually provide that within a possibility of getting a job in the future. And I feel like I've gained a great amount of knowledge surrounding this course, from grooming to gangs, and how like that all implicates individuals and being able to safeguard these people.
So I definitely gained the knowledge in identifying a CSE case and how much of an impact it has on an individual. Well, I definitely have more confidence in seeing the different impact it has, as well as addressing and how to report and refer a person that's been sexually abused. It opens your mind in different perspectives that CSE happens everywhere and at any time.
I feel like I've gained a lot of understanding, methodology and evidence-based practice within the programme. I think with all the knowledge and the training that Karen has given us has highlighted things that I wouldn't have noticed before. I wouldn't have seen the signs before, and now I feel that I've got the confidence that when I go into my future that I can pick up on the signs. I would absolutely, definitely advise anyone to come on any kind of course. I think Karen has covered everything that's needed within the No Whispers programme. I think it's fundamentally important that everybody, whatever line of work that you're in, knows about the dangers in trafficking and CSE.
More knowledge and understanding about trafficking, grooming and CSE. Yes, definitely recommend this project because we do need to keep our children safe and more people need to be aware on how to things to look out for to do with grooming, trafficking and CSE.
Since participating in the No Whispers project, I feel like I've gained a lot of knowledge and understanding about child sexual exploitation. I feel being on the No Whispers project has given me the confidence to actually explore and recognise things what might be happening for young people, but also getting me to be able to challenge people if I feel like something's not the norm, and I feel like I can do that in a professional way, but making sure the children are safe.
So now I feel more confident in recognizing the signs of exploitation, and now I know what to look for and how does it look like. I know each of the steps of grooming, for example, because I didn't know that much about grooming before. It's a very important part of CSE. And now I also know where to turn to, which organizations go to report CSE. So other volunteers who are working with high-risk children, they would find this project very useful, especially with the important information on grooming, and they would see like how the manipulation affects children, and it would help them recognize the signs early on, and they could prevent CSE.
I think I've got a better understanding of how easy it is to access people through social media, be that Facebook or games or selling things online, and how connected that is to CSE. I think I've got a much better understanding of the signs and symptoms of CSE, and a much better understanding of how prevalent it is, and I've definitely understood how important it is that we look out for it all the time. I would recommend this project to volunteers because Karen has loads of real life experience that makes it really relevant, makes it a lot easier to understand.
I recommend this project so we can all try and prevent child sexual exploitation from starting and not ignore this very real taboo subject.
I've gained an awareness of things that I've already known, but have been able to refresh and kind of worked well with other people in the group and shared their experience that's made my experience even better. And also engaging with the sessions has made me make kind of my awareness better than it's ever been of CSE. Yes, I would recommend this project because of the knowledge that you gain is paramount when working with young people.
From the No Whispers project, I have gained confidence in my knowledge of child sexual exploitation. I came to the project with what I believe to be great knowledge of child sexual exploitation, but you don't actually know everything, you learn something new every day. I feel like the confidence in my knowledge is going to enable me to keep children and young people safe. I now know what to look out for, who to reach out to, and what I need to do. I would recommend the No Whispers project. I would recommend it to professionals who in their career or experience may have touched on child sexual exploitation but only have little knowledge. I think the project is perfect for those who want to learn and actually need to learn about child sexual exploitation.
I've gained more knowledge than I thought I would, and now know that anyone can be a victim of child sexual exploitation and anyone can be a perpetrator. And it's also happening everywhere and every day. I feel that I have more of an awareness in child sexual exploitation and increased confidence in applying knowledge that I have gained. I've also developed practical skills which I can use in direct work activities with children and young people and spread an awareness amongst friends, family and professionals. Yes, because it's interactive, engaging and interesting. Karen is very knowledgeable and you can tell how passionate she is about the topic. It's also crucial that we all share what we know about child sexual exploitation. The more people who understand, the better chance we have at protecting children and young people.
Knowledge and awareness of CSE and the change within CSE. From my training 6 years ago, I learned a lot of my grooming, the signs, the stuff from books. Whereas coming on this, it's taught me more about the online perpetrators, how they can access children in your bedrooms. Also taught me awareness of parenting as well, of putting what I've learned here into practicalities with my children and their online access. I think with the awareness and with a lot of the statistics given and shown, I'm able to now feel more confident in, if I see any signs, to seek help and to report. Not to shy away and hope for the best that there's nothing going on. I think it's more important to, speak out. I would recommend this Whispers training for other volunteers for the fact of it's current and it's relevant in today's society. What I've gained from this training I couldn't get from a book. It's all different types of people from different sectors coming together and sharing their experiences as well as the knowledge gained.